Let's talk Ahsoka Episode 6. Ahsoka Episode 6 is finally here, and there were some big things happen in this episode. Welcome back to the channel. This is Will with Padawan Pops, and today we're breaking down Ahsoka Episode 6. So first I'll do a quick overview of the episode. I'll give my opinions, and then I will give it a grade out of 10. So very quick overview for this episode. We start with Ahsoka and Huyang in the belly of the Purrgil, and we hear Ahsoka talking to him, and they mention old tales that he would tell the students at the Jedi Temple. They go back and forth a little bit, and Ahsoka eventually asks to hear one of these stories, and he starts it off with a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That was super cool, nice little Easter egg there to the opening crawl, and I would love at some point to get to hear that story from Huyang. As they are traveling, we jump ship over to Morgan Elsbeth and Baylan, Shin, and Sabine Wren, and we see them approaching this new planet where they are presumably going to find Grand Admiral Thrawn. We learn that this is the place where the Purrgil would go through their hyperspace lane to die, similar to how different fish will go back to where they were born at in the rivers and oceans if you're a person who is interested in things like that. Similar idea there. And so these space whales, the Purrgil, they go back, and so the ring around this planet is actually the corpses and skeletons of Purrgil, which I thought looked pretty cool. But they land, and we come across these three Night Sisters that called out to Morgan Elsbeth, and so she gets there, and Thrawn has apparently been talking with these Night Sisters as well. And then we eventually get the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn. He comes in his ship, looks very cool. It's gold plated. He has his own battalion. They have red on their outfits, and his main guy, I think his name is Enoch. He looks pretty cool. His helmet's very intimidating. But we learn that Thrawn plans to return and to destroy the galaxy, which is no surprise there. But we also get a little bit of backstory on Baylan. So throughout the episode, he and Shin talk a little bit. We get little pieces here and there. But essentially, Baylan has trained Shin to be something more than a Jedi. I don't think he's training her to be a Sith, because I think he would have said that. And they've been pretty clear that he is not a Sith. He's more aligned to the dark side, it appears, but he's also not a Sith. But we learn a little bit about his motivations and what they are planning to do. We see Sabine Wren getting her into the deal with Baylan, and Thrawn honors that end of the deal. He sends Sabine out on this wolf creature to go find Ezra Bridger, and he's acting as if he is like this great guy that is going to honor the deal. But we learn in reality that he is sending Baylan and Shin out to find both Ezra and Sabine. They're going to use Sabine to get to Ezra, and then they're going to kill both of them. So Sabine kind of fell for that one, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So they send Sabine out on her way to find Ezra, and then Baylan and Shin are actually trailing her from a distance to hopefully find Ezra as well, and then kill both of them. But we also learn that Thrawn is not only double-crossing Sabine, he doesn't care to double-cross Baylan and Shin either. He tells Morgan Elsbeth, we will leave without any of them. Thrawn is only for himself, his plans. No surprise there. I like that. He's really bad. We need a really bad guy. So Thrawn checks all the boxes there. Sabine going out through this new world on this wolf horse thing. She comes across some mercenaries or nomads, makes pretty quick work of them once she gets her lightsaber. But then the wolf leads her to these little turtle people, which were super cute. I'm sure we'll get a name for them at some point. But they have a little rebel emblem, a rebellion emblem on their clothes, and they notice Sabine's on her shoulder, and then they take her to Ezra, to their little village that they move around. And it turns out Ezra has been living with them, or amongst them, and they take her to Ezra. We see the reunion. It's a very cool scene. Ezra wants to know a little bit about how she got there, but Sabine, being that she didn't get there in any way that she should probably be proud of, doesn't really want to bring it up, so we don't get that confrontation yet. I assume that's coming. I think the most interesting aspect of this story, though, is the fact that Baylan senses something else in this galaxy. He's talking to Shin, and he brings up the fact that something is calling to him out here, and that's what they're there for. So we get that motivating factor from Baylan as they are out hunting Sabine and Ezra. The episode concludes with news that there are Purrgil incoming, and there's Ahsoka Tano. They know that Ahsoka Tano is coming in the Purrgil, and so Thrawn is very alarmed at this. He's alarmed that there's Sabine Wren there, who is training as a Jedi, that Baylan used to be a Jedi. He has an apprentice, and now Ahsoka Tano showing up. It's like everything he didn't want to happen is happening all at once. So he's concerned about that. I think these next two episodes are going to be pretty exciting as far as Ahsoka getting there. There's going to be some pretty good battles, it appears. Quick rundown of the episode. Obviously, I did not catch close to all of it, but I do want to give my opinion on a few things. First of all, Baylan and Shin are just still so incredibly interesting. His entire motivation, his backstory, what he's going to do, I just want more of them every time they're on screen. We know he was a general in the Clone Wars from what Thrawn said. We know that he's kind of jaded with the Jedi, which I would probably be as well given what he witnessed. We know he senses something greater in this galaxy, so I don't really know that he has the motivation to return. I think he wants to make things new and have this new order out in this new galaxy. It's just a very interesting dynamic with him, and learning what makes him tick has been pretty fun as a viewer of the show. I will say I'm like almost over Sabine Wren. I've not been a huge fan of her character this entire time. Like, I get it, she's stubborn, she's headstrong, whatever, but literally every single bad thing that has happened in this series has been because of her. The only reason that the bad guys get the map in the first place is because she disobeys Ahsoka. The only reason they get the map again is because she disobeys Ahsoka by not destroying it. Now she has found Ezra Bridger, she's leading the two bad guys to him, and it just appears that, like, even though her motivations are probably not bad, she just doesn't think very wisely. So it's only about her and what she wants next, and I get it. She misses Ezra, she's been through a lot, she's stubborn. It's her character. It's just kind of frustrating to watch. Not that I hate it or anything. It's not frustrating like I hate the show. It's just I wish she would make smarter decisions, but I understand. It's part of her story and her character arc. It's just frustrating to watch, which is completely what they're going for. I understand it. I do think what these next two episodes are setting up is going to be a very, very fun time to watch. I think there's going to be a lot of lightsaber combat between Sabine, Ahsoka, maybe Ezra, and then Baylan and Shin. There's going to be some fighting between Thrawn's people and the good guys, I believe. I think that would be fun to watch. Probably going to be some Night Sister magic, and the rumors are that Ezra is going to use the Force without the lightsaber and do some pretty cool things there. So I think these next two episodes are going to be very fun to watch. There's going to be a lot go down. So I cannot wait for next Tuesday and then the following one, because this story has just been very good. As far as ranking this episode, it was always going to be difficult to improve upon episodes 4 and 5. Episodes 4 and 5 may be two of my favorite Star Wars episodes of any of these series that have come out. So for me, it was always going to have a tough time topping that. We did get Thrawn's return, we did get Ezra's return, we get some backstory on Baylan and Shin. It was a great episode. It was a fun episode. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. I don't have any true complaints about it. Again, Sabine frustrates me, but that's just part of the character. It's not like a flaw in the episode or anything like that. So I think an 8.5 is fair. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode. What did you like? What kind of irked you? Or did you think it was amazing? Leave that in the comments. I'll be interested to have that conversation with you. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for Star Wars content daily. And as always, may the Force be with you.